Hello and welcome to another tutorial of Affinity Photo. In this particular video, I'm going to quickly explain the layer workflow and what is layer, which is very important if you want to continue learning this software or anything as such. Layer is basically you stack one effect on top of another so that you can control a particular portion of your photography, a particular portion of your image. What I mean by that, for instance, in this particular photo, let's say you want to make the sky a bit more punchy, a bit more orangey without affecting the water or the cloud. You can do that by using the layer workflow in Affinity Photo. Let me show you with an example. Let's say I'm going to use this tool, HSL slider, to make the sky a bit more punchy. You can either click red or yellow because they are pretty much in the same zone, and you can click the saturation all the way up. Now what's happening here? Pay attention. It's basically affecting the entire image wherever it possibly can, especially the water. You have the highlights orange, same with the sky. But let's say you don't want that. You don't want sky to be affected. You don't neither want the water to be affected. You just want the empty space to be affected with this slider. What you can do now, you can select your brush tool and make it as big as you possibly can, and make sure your foreground is black, not white. If you do white, nothing will happen. If you click black, it will delete all the effect. As you can see, I don't even need to use the paintbrush tool. You can actually see live what will happen already. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that anyway, just for the sake of example. So as you can see, you can do that by doing so. You can do the same thing on the sky as well. But problem with this tool, that sometime you accidentally slip, because our hand cannot be as steady as machine. We are human after all. So you want to have a bit more fine control, but you already know how the layer works already. So as you can see that you can control your workflow and effect using this method, which is quite good if you can take your time, be patient, and don't rush. There is another way to control and do the same thing. So I'm gonna actually delete the whole layer. Now I will go to select and then select sample color. What it did, it automatically selected a particular color, which in this case orange, from the photo. It didn't select any water or the cloud, but I want to have a bit more control, so I want to spend a little bit more and click apply. If you pay attention, you can see that even on the water there are ants. I don't want that. So I want to get rid of it. So I'm going to select the selection brush tool, stay on subtract, and get rid of those effects from there and leave everything else as it is. So what's happening now? What's happening that you can clearly see that empty sky is being selected without affecting the sun, the cloud, and the water. How I can verify that? You can click refine first, and you have to wait a little bit to let the software do its work. And in the preview, you go to black and white. What it does then, it will show you two different color. Black means where the is not masked, and the white means that this is where any effect going to be applied on. And now we can click apply and check this out. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did earlier, and so I'm gonna do the same thing, go on my red, and then click my picker, click on pick. You can see that if I slide it all the way up, it's affecting only and only the empty space and a little bit on the cloud. We want that because we want to have a smooth transition, but it's not affecting the water or the cloud at all, neither the sun. If you want to verify even more, I can delete this particular effect and I'll go to the exposure, because this is how we can actually see what's happening. And right now, check this out. If I go all the way down, you can see the star, you can see the water, you can see the sun, you can see the cloud, but you don't see the sky anymore. You have a smooth transition. If I go all the way up, exactly opposite, without affecting the water, without affecting the cloud, not just a little bit perhaps, but there's no effect on the sun. In fact, the sun is blended with the rest of the area, because obviously everything is overexposed right now. So this is the beauty of layer workflow. You can fine-tune and you can have extreme amount of control on your image, and you can create beautiful photographs by doing so. So I hope this tutorial has been very helpful. Bear in mind, this particular video is just to give you an opening example of how the layer workflow works. I will be coming up with many more tutorials in future. So stay tuned and try the example that I have done and get a more idea of how the layer workflow works in Affinity Photo. I'll see you in the future video. Meanwhile, keep practicing and I wish you all the best. Bye bye.